Seriously, how can I have an entire box of white fabrics and not the right fabric? Like, why?
What's that? There's something on my dress form. You know what that means? It's time to start a new project. G'day everyone, my name is Kiralee and this is Kiralee Cosplay, my channel. On this cosplay channel we talk about all things cosplay, costuming and sewing related. And today it is the start of a brand new project. And this is just a fun little project for me. I'm hoping it's going to take me about a month. So hopefully by the end of January, touch wood, because you know, that always goes up in smoke. But I want this project to be done because it's just fun. I just want something fun and easy. Please, just something fun and easy to start off 2025. So my dear friend Lady Rebecca Fashions over on the other side of the world from the other WA, Washington State, Western Australia. It's a little in joke, don't know if you'll get it. Anyway, we were discussing about Barbie dolls because she is currently making a Butterfly Barbie and it is gorgeous. And she was like, you should do one too. And like the little gremlin that I am, I said, okay. So I looked at a whole lot of 90s Barbies because let's be real, 90s Barbies was where it was at. That's where they were most unhinged in my opinion. And I came across a particular Barbie that I could buy here in Western Australia, or rather it was shipped to me from South Australia, but you know, and that is 1992 Birthday Barbie. Look at her. Isn't she magnificent? She is so unhinged and she has ruffles and I am here for it. My two stipulations for the Barbie that I chose was that I wanted it to be a ball gown because I haven't done a ball gown in so long. So I wanted to do a ball gown again. It needed to also be not red because all of 2024 basically I just made red costumes and I'm sick of the color red. And it was funny because as I was looking through all of the Barbies that I was initially attracted to, that sounded wrong, but all of the Barbies that I was like, I want to make that, were all red costumed Barbies. So like there was a Coca-Cola Barbie that I was like, I really want to do that. And there was also like some holiday Barbies that were gorgeous and they were like red and gold. And anyway, I needed a break and so I found her and she is white, pink and blue and gold. And there's a lot going on with her. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at what I'm going to be creating. So here she is laid out on my desk and you can see she's got a very large skirt. There's no crinoline underneath, but I am a human-sized person. So there will be a crinoline to help keep the shape. The skirt itself is made of what feels to be a very, very stiff polyester 90s goodness satin that has then been sprayed with glitter. No, I'm not doing glitter.
No, I'm not doing glitter.
I'll find some other way to do that because frankly I am still finding glitter from my Christine Daae dress and I made that in 2019. So no, we're not doing glitter again. But there is all these organza ruffles in a very light pink and a blue that then has a gold detailing on the side. And there is also this like rose pattern that is also running through the skirt. I don't quite know how I'm going to do that yet. I'm thinking I'm either going to do heat vinyl transfer or I will do it as a foil. Probably a foil because I think that will look nicer. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find like this very light blue in a foil, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna come back to this point. But then up here we have these incredible sleeves and honestly it's the sleeves that did it for me. There's more ruffle and they're big puff sleeves and I said yes please and thank you. She also has this cute little bodice on and she has a whole lot of rose jewelry. So she's got a rose necklace, rose earrings, and then she's also got a little rose ring. So that's fun. And then her hair. Her hair is where it's real 90s. There is tinsel in her hair. It is pulled back except for this one little section of fringe. And yes, that is meant to look like that. I had a look at many Barbies that were of the 1992 Birthday Barbie, and that fringe is done on purpose. The 90s was a crazy time. And then obviously a big pink bow with that gold detailing on the edge as well. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna try and recreate.
So the first thing that I need to do is I need to create mock-ups, and also I want to pull some fabric. I want to try and use fabric that I have. I know there's certain things that I don't have, so I have gone onto AliExpress and I've ordered that. So I bought a cheapish wig this morning that frankly it has to be a lace front because it needs to go like tied back, but I'm going to absolutely destroy it because of that stupid fringe. And then I have to also add tinsel to her hair. Then I have also bought some organza ribbon that I plan on sewing together so that I can get the width of the organza for strips that I can then add gold ribbon to the edges. Words are hard. And then I can gather those down so that I can create ruffles. So I had to order like 3 different types of ribbon in different widths. It's a whole thing. So I've done that because I did buy gold ribbon. Look, hang on. I bought 19 of these. There's still more in there. And there is 2.7 meters on each of these rolls. The problem is that it's still not enough. And I bought these on clearance for Christmas before the doll had arrived, and I absolutely did not get enough. So I've had to just kind of scrap this, which is really annoying because like I bought all of these individually. So that's a shame. But I'll add them to the stash and I'll use them for a different project. It's fine. I did also buy this ribbon, which is pretty much going to be perfect for her necklace chain. Oh, and on AliExpress, I also just bought some little rose fondant kind of molds so that I could get some foam clay, and I plan on molding out the necklace, the ring, and the earrings because I did that for Ariel's shells when I made Ariel, and that worked a treat, so I'm going to do that again. The last thing that I bought in store here was this. It is tinsel, or rather Christmas craft fillables, as they say. I got this for 50 cents, and this makes me happy. I don't know if it's going to be quite long enough, but for 50 cents I thought, yeah, let's give this a go. So that is going to be the tinsel that I'm going to tie into her hair little by little. I've also pulled out my crinoline, as you can see, because of the fact that I want just something easy to help me create the shape. And I have an idea of how I'm going to approach this. I'm going to be using the corset kind of bodice pattern that I used for Mimsy and also Christine Daae. So I'll do another mock-up of that, and then I'll add sleeves onto her. The other thing that I will be doing, well, I will need to mock up obviously the sleeves and the skirt to try and figure out everything. As I learned from Harlequin, I need to do mock-ups. I'm not repeating that mistake, even when it seems simple. Know thyself. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go into my fabric room and start pulling fabrics that I think are going to work for this cosplay. Let's do that.
Hi, and welcome to my fabric room. This is where I do all of my crazy planning. Let's go and do some shopping.
Yeah, okay, that was cringeworthy, I know, but let's go and have a look. So for this bodice fabric, it really does read as a lame, but I hate working with lame. Lame is terrible, and I really don't wish that upon myself, that I have to deal with that. So we're gonna have a look and see what I might have, and honestly, it's not blue, it's more of like a greeny blue, like a teal or something, and I've got some selections here, and Oh, oh, look, look, it's Ariel. Oh my goodness me, that is so close. Let me just pull this out, hang on. Okay, so here is the Ariel fabric. The little bit that I have left over, I probably have just enough to make a bodice. And look at that, oh my goodness me. It is so close. It is slightly darker than the bodice of Barbie, but it has the same sort of sheen. And from what I remember of using this fabric, it was not a pain to work with. So, okay, that's our bodice fabric. Fantastic. Now, the next thing I want to state is that I am not using organza, like fabric organza, for the strips for the ruffles. I have ordered ribbon for that because I don't hate myself.
Let me explain. So, organza, if you've ever used it, you know how annoying it can be because the edges need to be sealed or it needs to be finished with like an overlocker or a rolled hem. It needs to be 100% finished and it needs to be secure. Otherwise, it just sheds. And initially, I thought that I was going to be able to get rolls like this that is about half the size, because this is a 12-inch roll of organza in the right color pink, but it is too wide, and I know that for tulle you can either get it as a 6 or a 12-inch roll, and so I thought that was going to be the same for organza. I was wrong. You cannot easily find, for a cheap price, a pretty decent price shall I add, a 6-inch roll of organza. They just don't exist anymore. I don't know what happened. I swear that they used to exist, but you can't get them anymore. So that was out of the question because honestly, I did not want to have to cut these in half and then, you know, finish the edges. I just wasn't going to do that. So in the end, I decided to buy a 5cm wide ribbon that I will be able to connect in the middle. Because the ruffle on Barbie is done in the middle, I figured that that is going to hide that seam pretty nicely. And it just means that because it's ribbon, it's not, like the edges have been sealed. So I will just have to sew on the gold and then we're good to go. But yes, it's annoying because I do have blue organza and I do have pink organza. I mean, it's the wrong color blue, but I think I've got some like greeny blue in here that I could use in a pinch, but I'm just not going to do that to myself. So the next thing that I want to have a look at is the skirt. So the skirt is a satin, a 90s polyester satin with sparkles, with glitter. So I think what I'm going to do is I want to try and find some sort of overlay. Oh, and, oh look, it's right on the top. It's right on the top. Hang on. So this, look at that. Okay, so this is actually a sari fabric that I picked up in Singapore, and Binksy Cosplay actually found this and she bought a whole lot for herself, and then I was like, you know what, that will come in handy. Yes it does. And it was very, very cheap. I got like so many meters of it, and I think that there's going to be enough in here to do as an overlay for the fabric. And it has that iridescent kind of sparkle like glitter without it being glitter, because it's actually like tiny little pinstripes. It's really pretty. So I think I'm going to use that. Now that we've got the overlay for the skirt, which is a little bit lightweight, which is very annoying, I need something that it needs to go on top of to give it a bit of structure potentially. I'm not sure if I'm going to flatline it or if I'm going to do them as two separate ones. Come to think of it, I could possibly do it as two separate skirts, so that way the overlay is free moving, and because I'm not planning on painting this, it shouldn't seep through. So if I do the foiling or the heat vinyl transfer for the rose detailing, I think we'll be fine. So yeah, I might keep them separate. Watch this space. But now we have to still figure out what I'm going to be using as the base for the skirt, and I need to have enough of the white fabric to do it. Okay, so here is my problem. I have a whole lot of white fabric and none of it seems to be correct. So here is the most unfortunate thing. In my hand, I hold a satin that feels exactly the same as the satin that is used in that skirt. I'm pretty sure it's from the 90s as well, because I have a feeling it was actually my grandmother's. The only issue is that I've got maybe 2 meters of it, and it is 150 centimeters wide. So it's nice and wide, but it's only 250. And right in the middle of it, there is a big brown stain. Right there. I don't think that I'm going to be able to cut the pieces out of this fabric. It's such a shame because this has the right consistency of that skirt. I didn't even know I had this in my stash. But it's got that big brown mark on it, and I don't know if I'd be able to hide that. The other fabric that I've got is this, which is a polyester lining fabric that I've got about 3 meters of, I think. And yes, it is very, very, very polyester as well. Everything about this is polyester. It is slightly see-through as well, but I'm going to play around with this and just see if I can make it work, because if I can make this work, then that's a good sign. Otherwise, I may have to look at buying some white freaking fabric, even though I have a whole cubby of white fabric. How can I not have the right kind of white fabric? It's white. Okay, let me play around and see what I can come up with. Alright, so this is the lining fabric behind the kind of sparkle sari fabric. And that's actually not too bad, because this is going to be going over the white crinoline. It actually is not as see-through as what I was thinking it was going to be, although it does look like it's very see-through on the camera. But if it's on the white crinoline and it's a white skirt, I'm thinking it's going to be alright. If not, I might have to make an extra petticoat. But I don't know, I'm thinking that I might go with this, because they're about the same width as well, so hopefully I can make it work. But yeah, alright then. I'll take the, look, I'm going to take the satin as well, because I'll show you what that looks like. So like, that's the satin. See, I really like this. Oh no, I might have to go and buy some more of this fabric, or at least try and find something that is similar to this. I don't even know if this type of satin is available here in Western Australia anymore. I'm thinking of the places that like sell this type of satin, and I'm coming up blank. Like, I'll try Spotlight. I know that Homecraft definitely doesn't have anything, because I used to work there. I know their stock intimately, and their satins are all very floppy. Except maybe their Duchess satin. But yeah, maybe they're Duchess satin. But I can get white Duchess satin from Spotlight, and I'd rather support Spotlight than I would Homecraft. We did not part on good terms. But yeah, I do like the satin. Dagnammit. So the last fabric that we need to get is the sleeve fabric, and this is a net. So I'm going to see if I've got some soft tulle, which I'm pretty sure I do over there. Alrighty, yeah, so I've got some very soft tulle here. That's very, very soft here. Okay, let me just pull this out. I need 2 hands. I mean, a part of me would love to use this because it is roses and soft tulle, but that's not what Barbie says it is, so back in you go. Here is the soft tulle, and I have so very much of it.
Good times. So I think this is going to be my sleeve fabric, and I will still have to find a way to make sure that the edges don't scratch my armpits to all heck.
Okay, so since now I have my main fabrics, I'm going to take them out. Oh, I am also going to pull out my pattern that I need for the bodice to start cracking on that. And I think I'm going to search Spotlight's website to see if there's any discounts on their Duchess satin. Can't believe it. Seriously, how can I have an entire box of white fabrics and not the right fabric? Like, why? Honestly, a part of me is very upset that I found the white satin, because otherwise I just would have gone with the lining fabric and it would have been fine. It would have been fine. You wouldn't know the difference. I wouldn't know the difference. Everyone would be living in a state of bliss. But no. I took the red pill. Is that the right one? I think I took the red pill. So it's later today now, and I have just come home from going to Spotlight, where I got 4 meters of this satin. So it is a little bit thinner than this one, but it's very similar. It was the stiffest satin that they had there. It is not Duchess satin, it is cheap party satin, which I feel like is very 90s, so yay. But yes, I wanted to get something that was stiff but still had the shine, that looks super polyester. I can't believe I'm actually going directly towards the shiny polyester fabric. But there you go. So I've got 4 meters of that, which should be enough to do the base of the skirt, but failing that I have this as well. And honestly, it's $5.50 a meter. I can always go and get some more, and it's just in white, so no stress whatsoever. The other thing that I did get though is I got some more applique paper. So this is the light sewable heat and bond. So this is what I use for all of my applique work. Usually it is fabric that I'm applicating on and then doing a sand stitch around the edge to make it look pretty. But I used the last of mine on Mimsy, so I needed some more. So I got 2 meters of it. It's $15 a meter. 15, 1-5, not 50. Oh my goodness me. But what I'm going to be using this for is the detailing, the rose detailing on the skirt. I had a look at the heat transfer vinyls that were at Spotlight, and I just thought, no, you know what, these are going to be too thick. I know that you can get thinner ones, but I'm not feeling it. So I quite like the look of foil. I think that it will look quite similar to what we're after here. So I'm going to go online to Amazon probably, and I'm going to buy some foil and get that shipped over to us as well. And then I should have everything that I need to make this Barbie. So that is what my afternoon is going to be. It definitely has taken a little bit of a left turn from what I was planning on doing today. But that's okay, that's okay. It's very hot. It's very hot at the moment in Perth, and I'm not feeling like I want to do the mock-up. I think that I will end up using the mock-up that I had for Mimsy, because that worked fine, but I'll just kind of change it slightly so that it gives me the shape that I need here. But I am going to go and do some online shopping, some online retail shopping, and then I will see you hopefully tomorrow when I actually start working on the mock-up. G'day, it's now been a week since I was last on camera talking to you about this project. It's just been a very full-on crazy week, and I have not worked on this. However, I did get a few things. So I did end up getting the gold ribbon, the mold for the flowers, the wig, and the wig is interesting, but I think I can make it work. It's fine. So that's exciting. So what I'm going to do today, what I really want to get done today, just to kind of get me into this this project, is to get the mock-up of the bodice done. So I am going to be using the same mock-up pattern that I had for Mimsy. It is a it's based off a corset pattern, and it is a very good corset pattern, but I think that I need to extend it up this way because it is quite low. It sits about here, and according to Barbie, hers is more up here. So I need to extend that. I also need to change the shape of it slightly because for Mimsy I extended it so that it was, you know, a dress essentially. So I need to change it so that it is going to be kind of a point in the front. Let me just get the Barbie doll, it's right here. So with Barbie, what we have is we've got the bodice and then we've got the skirt. Obviously this is all one piece, and I'm gonna make it two pieces because it's just gonna be so much easier and more comfortable to wear. So that is the plan. The back of the bodice is actually quite low, so I think that I will just need to kind of raise up the front more than anything else. And the interesting thing about this is that there is no kind of connection with the sleeves. So the sleeves are then added on top of that, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. I now know how to do that because of my Selkie dress. Yay! But that's all good. It's all fine. I just need to do it. I need to stop procrastinating and just do it. If I get the bodice done, I may have a little play around with the sleeves. I've got so much of that bridal net that I think I'm just gonna do the mock-up out of the bridal net. And then I'll figure out the skirt at some other point. I think that's just, it won't be too hard, I don't think. I think that I'm gonna just start off with like a circle skirt, kind of place it on there, and then take in the sides or whatever it needs to be. There will definitely be joins in this because unlike Barbie, I'm a real sized human being, and so I don't think my fabric is not wide enough to be able to have like a single seam in the back. But it is important to note that the seams are all in the back. So I will have a seam down the back for the bodice, and then I will have the seam for the skirt as well. The other thing that was really interesting about the skirt, I've had many thoughts and feelings about this, is that there is actually some horsehair braid that has been doubled over that is at the base of the skirt. I'm not going to do that because I've got the crinoline and that will give me the shape that I need. But I thought that was interesting. The other thing is I've been thinking about this damn glitter that's on the skirt. Originally I was going to do an overlay. I've got beautiful fabric that would be fabulous for that. But then I'm thinking, because I'm doing the heat vinyl transfer over the top of this, and because it will probably be in different parts, I'm worried that the overlay is going to potentially kind of warp easier with all of the ruffles and that, rather than the thicker satin, the party satin that I've got. Oh, it's disgusting. It's so gross, but it's perfect for this. So a part of me wants to go and buy fabric glitter spray, and essentially once it is all together, then spray it all with the glitter, because the glitter is definitely on top of everything else except maybe the ruffles. But I think the ruffles will put on last. But I am absolutely not going to be running my machine underneath, like have the glitter on and then run it through my machine doing gathered ruffles on it. That will just cause glitter to go all through my machine, and that sounds like a terrible idea. I mean, this already is a terrible idea, having like glitter. But I just think if I'm gonna like do 90s Barbie, let's just lean into the craziness of it all, shall we? So happy days. Let's get mocking up.
Welcome to the mock-up of the kind of bodice, and honestly I'm feeling stoked. I am feeling so stoked because this bodice, although like ignore the sewing here because that was terrible sewing on my behalf, if you look on this side it's looking much better. This is pretty much what I need. This is the shape It's the right height. Like, this was first go. I'm really happy about this. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it to like get it absolutely perfect, because honestly, as long as the fit feels pretty good and secure, which it does, like I'm happy to move forward with this. This is not a competition piece. This is just a convention kind of fun little piece. So, well, little, it's a big ball gown, but you know, I don't want to spend too long getting bogged down on trying to get it perfect, you know. I think the only thing I'll do is I'll add an extra like 1.5 centimeter seam allowance here, just because like I feel like where that's finishing is where I want the bodice actually to finish. So I'll need to add an extra 1.5 centimeters out down and then kind of gradually bring it in here, but that's not something that I feel like I need to make an entire new bodice for. So this will be also fully lined and boned, so all of these wrinkles will hopefully kind of disappear. I've also done it on a very wide stitch, so that's why it's gaping. Like, it was my poor sewing. But I'm feeling good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some lunch, and then I'm going to work on the sleeves. I think also what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straighten this up slightly, the side here where the sleeve will connect to. But I'm liking where this kind of point is coming to, because that's going to be the perfect jump off point for the sleeve to go, you know, to start from and go over. So that way I'll be able to wear a bra and it's all going to look nice. Yay! I'm excited about that. But yeah, it's very high. I've been making all these bodices that I'm like, cleavage! And this is the first bodice in a very long time, I feel, where yeah, the girls are not out to play, you know, they're a little bit hidden. But yay, okay, cool. Okay, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Let's keep this like energy going.
So I have started working on the sleeves, and I realized that the tulle that I've got is about 2 meters wide, if not wider than that. And it's bridal tulle, it's light, it's fluffy, it's cute, whatever. And I am just gonna make massive sleeves. They're probably gonna be far too big, but I figure I can cut it down because I'm just gonna use the entire width for the sleeve and hope for the best. I have run this past Lady Rebecca Fashions, who is on camera behind this camera, keeping me company right now. And live your best life, right? Let's make some big sleeves. Let's do this. So this is sleeve number 1, and it is not doing what it should do. It should be a little bit holding its shape a little bit better. And I think that it comes down to the fact that this is a very thin tulle. This is a very lightweight tulle, and it's just, it ain't doing what it's meant to do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at my stash and see if I've got some kind of denser tulle that I'm going to use. And we're just going to recut another sleeve out. We're going to guesstimate it. I think that, like, in terms of how long I was going to make it, I think I did it right and that, but I think that I've made it too wide, and so there's just far too much in there, especially when you consider that I'm going to be adding the ruffles on top. I think it just might be a little bit too much. But saying that, with the ruffles on top, I could always pin it so that I kind of gather the sleeves as I'm sewing the ruffles. So that is an idea that maybe I could play with as well. Alright, I'm not going to throw this away, but this was attempt number 1. Okay, so here is the situation, aka the sleeve. This is 2 sleeves combined, and Rebecca thinks it looks pretty decent. I am not convinced. She has then said, put wire in it. And I'm like, oh, why? But let me just show, like, Rebecca's being nice. She's being silent off camera. You are live, by the way, hun. So if you ever want to say something, feel free to. The camera will pick it up. But what it is that this is the sleeve that I've made out of a stiffer net. It scratches up my arm real bad, but we have discussed how we can, you know, make that not happen. Through the power of either an inner sleeve or covering it or whatnot. But this is where we're at. Rebecca thinks it's not big enough.
It's not big enough.
So realistically, I think that what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get some more tulle of this density. But I think that will hold its shape. But in the same token, I'm just not sure, because I think once you add ruffles to this is my thing, and this is where Rebecca and we differ of opinions. Because I think Rebecca's like giving me like eyes like on the camera. You can't see this. But what it is I think that once the ruffles go on there, it's gonna look huge. Like, I think it's gonna look real big once the ruffles go on there. She's shaking her head very, very much at the moment, and she's like, no, it needs to still be bigger, and then add the ruffles on top of it. So, you know, I think that with the Rebecca, she probably is right. I just don't want to admit it. At least it's very itchy. Ow. So that's where we're gonna stop for today, I think, because I need to contemplate life and my choices. Okay, so change of plans because I really don't want to go and buy more tulle. I decided to give it a go with some wide ribbon that I have that have a wired edge to it, so that I could like just roughly put it as ruffles to kind of see how big the sleeve will look. And I'm pretty happy with this, to be honest. This is the second sleeve that I did with the like tougher tulle, the one that scratched up my arm, but I'll figure it out, it's fine. And I think that it's gonna work. So we're just gonna move ahead with that. I've got this will actually be one of the main sleeves, and I've got a second one already cut out. So I don't want to do too much to that because I need to actually make it pretty. But yay, okay, so we've got the bodice and the sleeves done. So the last thing I need to do is figure out the skirt. Fingers crossed I can maybe get something done. Oh, it'd be great if I could mock it all up in one day, right? Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've mocked up the skirt as well. I've just done it as a circle skirt, and honestly, I'm quite happy with how that's looking. However, I realized because I'm going to do a circle skirt, I've not bought enough fabric. I have only bought 4 meters when really I needed 6. So to ensure that I can get the full width of what I need, I'm probably gonna have to go and buy another, you know, 3 meters of it. So that's annoying, but it's fine. It is what it is. I'm not gonna like get too upset about it. So at some point I will need to drop into Spotlight, probably tomorrow, to get some more of the satin. I'll have a look at the tulle as well and maybe buy 3 meters of that as well, and also have a look at the glitter spray. So happy days. I mean, I'm happy with these sleeves, honestly I am. They look proportionally correct with the dress like this, but Rebecca's got in my head, and like, you know what, big is always fun. So maybe. So there you go. That's a slightly better kind of look at it all. You can see it has a bit of extra kind of fullness in the skirt that isn't in the Barbie, but honestly I think that it will look pretty. I think it will look fine. It will be very fun to spin in. So I think I'm just gonna go with that, and I will need to get some extra fabric to make this work. You know, I could always take some of the like width out from the bottom, but I don't want to. I like a lovely big circle skirt, and I think that it works for this kind of width of this kind of type of project. I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on it, look at it with a fresh kind of set of eyes tomorrow, and then decide what I need to get. But I would also be happy at this point in time to move on with what I've got. So exciting. Good evening. So as you can see behind me, I have the skirt cut out for the ball gown. Because it's a circle skirt, it's got to hang. That's why I have done this at night, midway through the week. I'm very tired because I'm working full-time at the moment, but pushing through because I really want that to drop so this weekend I can start putting it together so I can start playing around with placements of where things are gonna go, and I'm definitely gonna add pockets because I've got side seams and I'm very excited by that. But I'm very tired. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. Good afternoon. So it is time to start working on Barbie again, and I have about 4.5 hours that I can work on it this afternoon. So it is time to attack the skirt. So it's been hanging there for a couple of days. Should have had most of the droppage, which is great. I'm not even going to hem it today though. What I want to do is I want to overlock the sides. I also need to do the cut up the back and then overlock those, and then also cut out some of the pockets and overlock those, and then put it all together. And that way I will have a skirt mostly ready to go on the dress form. I will then also need to do the waistband and do a zipper. Basically, I want to get something that I can like put on so that way I can work out what the length needs to be and all of that good stuff. But that is what I'm hoping to get done today. And if I get that done, what I then want to do is I want to then start creating the ruffles, because in the mail I got the ribbon. So here is the pink, here is the blue organza ribbon, and I need to sew each of these together so it's like one like that width, and there is 45 yards in each of these, so I'm guessing that's about 40 meters ish, that I need to sew together to create one wide piece of organza ribbon in both pink and blue. And then once that's done, I then need to go through and add the gold ribbons onto the end. So it's a very labor intensive situation, but I would love to get started on this today if I make good timing with the skirt. I have all of tomorrow to work on this, and I'm hoping to kind of whack out a whole heap of this costume this weekend. The other thing that is very important to me to remember is that I can't actually finish the skirt just now because I've had my foil come in, which mostly looks great, except they sent me 2 purples and a pink, and they were all meant to be pink. So that was very frustrating. I got a refund on the purples, but then I couldn't get more of the pink, so I've had to order from a different supplier a new pink. Yay, wicked, more money. But I have to wait for those to come in before I can do the kind of foil transfer onto the skirt, and once I do that, that's when I can spray it with all the glitter, because I've got glitter glue now, guys. I've got glitter glue, as in the spray sort. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to accept that there's going to be glitter everywhere for a while, and that's fine. But it will be the last thing that I do for this costume. I will probably do all of the bodice and everything first. But yes, ideally, what I would love to do this weekend is the skirt, sew the ribbons so that they're all ready to go. I would also love to get the base of the bodice done as well. We shall see. Here is the base of the skirt complete, except for obviously hemming. I am feeling a little bit dejected at the moment because of the fact there's so much that needs to be hemmed up. Now, I am not wearing any shoes at the moment, but I do not plan on wearing heels with this dress because I don't feel like I should be wearing heels at a convention when I have a big ball gown hiding my feet anyway. And if you know me, you know I don't do heels. I have very, very weak ankles. I can't wear heels for a long period of time anyway. So yes, I've got the fitted waistband, the zipper in, the hook and bar in the back. Yep, that's what it's called, Kiralee. But I do need to do a whole heap of hemming. I need to cut off, I don't even know what that is. It's kind of annoying because I added an extra 18 centimeters to what my mock-up was, and I'm now wondering if I should have just done the mock-up length. I know that I'll have to cut off at least 10 centimeters of that. It's just way, way, way too long, but
you know what? I think that will be for another day. I'm not feeling it right now, and that's absolutely fine. But yay! Look, it's on, and that's the part that I'm most excited about. It's feeling really good. It's got pockets. Look, I got pockets on either side, and they're really quite a decent size of pockets, so I can fit my phone and everything in there. Okay, so it is now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I have about 2 hours left of the time that I can spend on it today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something mindless, and I'm going to start sewing the organza ribbon together and get a good crack on that.
I have to finish up for today, and this is as far as I got. So I managed to sew together the 2 rolls of organza ribbon together, so I've got the width now, and that's all. It took me 45 minutes to sew 45 yards of organza tulle, and I have to do that again for the blue, and then on either side of both the pink and the blue I have to add the gold ribbon. So that is a total of 6 passes of 45 yards. That's a lot, but tomorrow's a new day. I will probably start with the blue, so that way I've got the blue and the pink ready to go, and then it's just a matter of adding the gold. I say just like it's easy, but it will be pretty much my entire morning, I would say, and that's me getting up early and starting it. So see you then. Good morning. So I am in my PJs, fresh PJs. I've had a shower. I'm ready to go. It is a full day of crafting ahead of me. So to start off, we're going to start with a very boring task, which is continue on with doing all of the ribbon. So I'm going to put the blues together, and then I'll be adding on the gold ribbon. That is pretty much going to be my morning, I think, because it takes a long time. So I'm going to put on a bit of a podcast, a historical podcast, why not, and get cracking on this. Let's do it!
This is where I'm up to, and it's taken far too long, and it's fine. I'm gonna do it all. I'm halfway through getting all of these freaking organza ribbons to being the gold-edged big organza ribbons that they're meant to be. But what I did find was that these organza ribbon rolls were 45 yards, right? And each one of these is 25 yards. So I'm meant to, by my estimation, 2 of these per line, and I should have 5 yards left. However, that is a lie, because over there, that little bit of gold ribbon over there, that is what I have left of the second lot of these that I used. And so that's about 1.5 meters. So someone is lying. Either I have too much organza ribbon or not enough of the gold. But I have enough to do the project, so that's all I care about. I mean, clearly I have enough. I say that, touch wood, because once I do this, I'm never doing this again. My goodness me. I have just finished sewing on the second lot of gold onto the pink ribbon here. It is now 2:15 in the afternoon. I think I need a break from doing the straight stitches because I feel like I'm going cross-eyed from doing it. So I think I'm going to switch and work on the bodice after I roll this up and I have a little bit of a break. It is now 4:30 in the afternoon, and I'm very happy to report that I'm no longer sewing straight lines. I instead have gone ahead and cut out all the layers for the bodice. Now I decided that I'm going to be making this bodice out of 3 different layers. I have the lining, an interlining, and the fashion layer. And the reason why I have done this is because I want to add a whole lot of boning to it. Why? Well, simply because of the fact that with this bodice, it really isn't supported in the shoulders. The puff sleeve that's on top does not have a shoulder strap that it is set into. So I don't want the stress of the bodice to be sitting on that. It's another reason why I made it as a skirt and a bodice that are separate, because of the fact that if the skirt was attached to the bodice, it would be so heavy. So in short, with the bodice,
It is not going to be super complicated. It's definitely very plain in comparison to what the skirt is going to be, but I'm okay with that. That's what Barbie says, that's what we're doing. But I'm also excited at the fact that I'm going to be able to keep the bodice's weight off the shoulders. That's very important to me because the sleeves themselves are meant to be very light, very full. They're going to have the ruffles on them. They're very, very puffy. So the corset, or the bodice should I say, is going to be the only thing of this outfit that is going to be quite form-fitting. So that's why I'm doing it with a little bit more oomph than just like a lining with some boning and then the fashion layer. That's why there's the interlining as well. Give it that extra oomph. I've just finished sewing together the 3 different layers to themselves. And on the interlining section, I've gone ahead and added boning channels, and then I've cut the boning, filed them down and inserted those as well. As always, for the boning channels, I did a very cheeky thing, very easy, just because, you know what, cosplay doesn't have to be complicated, guys. So I just used some ribbon that I had in my stash and then stitched that down to create the boning channels. And then I've just used my trusty bag of zip ties that I cut down to the sizing. Zip ties, look, they work absolutely fine in place of plastic boning, and they're a lot cheaper. So it doesn't have to be a fortune that you spend on your cosplays, even though I feel like I have spent a lot of money on getting the materials for this cosplay. Oh well, we cut costs where we can. Alright, so time to pin these and sew them all together as a bit of a sandwich, so that way the bodice is pretty much done. And then it's just a matter of, I think I'm just going to overlock the back edges and I'm going to add the zip, and then the bodice essentially is done. I just have to add the sleeves. So here we have the ball gown. She's looking pretty fun and swishy. I did only get to finish the bodice today. It has some wrinkles. It is not sitting absolutely perfectly, but you know what? She's a funsy cosplay. She's a funsy, which means she is not competition worthy. I am aware of this and I am fine with this. I am trying to make her on a tight deadline and have her done by the end of this month, which realistically means I've got 5 full days to work on her and that's it. Maybe some nights after work, but honestly sometimes I'm just so tired and I've got other things I need to do. But today I'm glad I got the bodice done. I also got all of the pink ribbons done, which is good. They're ready to be figured out where it's going, all over the skirt and on the sleeves. I do have the sleeves cut out because they're the tulle that I was doing the mock-up in, and I've just decided I'm going to use those. But I need to finish the blue ribbon first because I need the pink and the blue to do the sleeves, because I want to make sure that I sew that onto the sleeves, like the ruffles onto the sleeves, before I sew them together, and then obviously insert them into the bodice. So that will be fun. That will be next video. That's right, we are stopping here for today's video. I hope that you've enjoyed part 1 of making 1993 Birthday Barbie with me, Caroline Cosplay, and I hope that you'll join me for the next part. So stay tuned for that, because it's probably going to be the next video. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes me. But thank you all very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Maybe next time I'll also get to hem my skirt, because it's still far too long. Can't believe I put an extra nearly 20 centimeters onto the base of this skirt, and it is just far too long. I am short. I need to be aware of this fact. I am short. I should have just cut it out as it was. Silly me. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. If you enjoyed this one, please make sure you support me on Patreon as well, if that is something that you would like to do. I would love to give a shout out to my amazing patrons, especially the $10 a month tier patrons, who are
Justine Ghosty, Fangirl X, Sam M, Monica, Lulu Alamode, Miss Twisted, Mithril Teacup, Barbara Lee, Trash Guardian Cosplay, Mother of Cats Cosplay, and Rogue Threads.
Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!